All right, here we go. Another Square Dance Callers talking tonight. I've got a good friend of mine, Justin Russell. We've done a podcast before, and we're going to do another one, but we're going to really focus on some Caller Lab stuff that he's got going on. He's been a part of. So, Justin, what do you got going, buddy?
So I am the chair of the Ways and Means Committee for CALLERLAB, and we're the arm of the association that raises money. And so back in 1992, CALLERLAB created the foundation, and the long title is the Foundation for the Preservation and Promotion of Square Dancing. And so, it pretty much it's all in the name, right?
Yeah.
It's a 501c3, so it's a nonprofit organization, and the goal is for us to raise money so that that could be used on marketing, on advertising, on promoting the square dance activity.
Okay. How long have you been the chair on that or been working with it?
I knew you were going to ask me that, and I was trying to think. So in 2019, the CALLERLAB Convention was in Richmond,
Hmm.
and we did a silent auction and a live auction there. I wasn't the chair yet, and so sometime after COVID, but I've been involved with the committee for several years. Shauna Carey was the chair, and then Julie Bird did it. I've done it for a couple of years now. And we're always just trying to come up with something different, something creative to kind of raise money.
Okay.
Mike Hogan and I, we were talking 2 years ago, maybe, about trying to do something big. So, this year is the 50th convention. It's going to be in Greenville in 28 days in the middle of April. And we were trying to think of something big that we can do. And so that's where we came up with the campaign 50K for the 50th. And so what we're trying to do is raise $50,000 before the close of the 50th convention, which is going to be on April 16th. The big part of that is that those funds are going to be matched. So we went to 10 callers and their spouses, and we said, hey, this is kind of what we want to do. If you would donate $5,000 each, that would get us the first 50. And then the Ways and Means Committee would have to kind of put our thinking caps on and how can we raise and how can we get the other 50 to have a total of $100,000. I thought that was the biggest kind of fundraising that the Ways and Means Committee has ever done. But Tony Oxendine told me I was incorrect. That do you remember the "God Bless the USA" record?
Yes, I remember that.
So back in 1999,
Hmm.
they produced that record, and they sold. They did a big fundraiser, and we'll talk about that at the in a little bit because we're going to do a live auction at the CALLERLAB Convention.
Okay.
They raised some money off of that. They pressed and sold records, and that raised a little over $100,000. That was back in 1999. But it's been kind of 26 years since we've done kind of a big promotion like what we've done so far.
Okay.
Uh, we've spread the word out. We have been posting in directions, and we did a mailer.
Hmm.
It was an article in the American Square Dance magazine. But clubs around the country have been putting on special dances. In Kentucky, one of the most recent ones, they did a sweets dance where they had tables of cookies and pies, and they were auctioning those off. Um, John Sloper is the vice chair. He's out of Mesa, Arizona. During the holidays, he's Santa Claus, and so he donated money that he raised from a Santa dance. And so anyway, across the country, they're doing different things from silent auctions to uh, sweet treats,
Hmm.
just to try to get us to that 50,000, knowing that all the funds will be matched for another 50 to get us to 100,000.
Okay. Where are you right now in that 50,000 you're trying to raise?
So I just got off the phone with Teresa. We have collected 27,000
Okay. Okay.
of the 50. We know that there's a couple of things that are kind of still outstanding. Folks that have done dances.
Hmm.
One was a dance in New Jersey that some outstanding that we know is coming. My goal, I would love to get to 40,000 before the start of the convention in Greenville. At the convention in Greenville, the Ways and Means Committee, we're doing three things. The first one is Sunday night, we're doing a pre-convention dance. And so we have callers, Travis Cook, Mike Seastrom. I hate when I name callers because you always forget like one person.
Yeah, I know.
Adam Christman, Scott Bennett. There's about 6 callers that are going to be there on Sunday night, and that's going to be a pre-convention dance. All the money that's collected at that dance will go towards the foundation.
And so that's just donation to get into.
Yeah.
the
So
dance?
yeah,
Okay.
there's not a suggestion price. It's just whatever you feel.
Okay.
And so we'll have a little collection plate right at the
Nice.
door.
Okay.
And so that'll be Sunday night, starting at 7:30. It's going to be at the same venue for the CALLERLAB Convention.
Okay.
We'll start a silent auction that night, and the silent auction will run from Sunday evening until Tuesday about lunchtime. And so we have some jewelry, we have some gift cards, we have some books. So, some nice little things, some kind of some funny things too. That's going to be in the silent auction, and that'll go until lunchtime on Tuesday. And then Tuesday night, we're going to have a live auction.
Okay.
Vernon Jones, Hunter Keller, they're going to be the auctioneers.
Nice.
We have several items for that, including a recording session under Chic Recording.
Okay.
So you could be Shauna Carey's second favorite caller.
Gotcha.
Get the polo shirt and get the opportunity to record on Chic. So here's the other thing I was going to tell you about. So back in 1999, we did the God Bless the USA. So in 2025, it's going to be the Square Dance is on. They've already recorded it. They took all of the chairs of CALLERLAB. I want to say it's 7. And they recorded that one. And so it's going to be a new release of the Square Dance is on.
Okay.
And so kind of following the same format as the God Bless the USA back in 99, we're going to auction off a gold record. It's going to have the signatures of the callers on the record, which are, the former chairs. And then that's going to be Tuesday night. That's going to be one of the items. And so I think that's going to be a big one.
That's awesome.
I'll tell you, in 1999, Bill Hyman was the winner, and it went for $2,000.
Okay. Nice. Okay.
I'm kind of hoping, it's 2025. Maybe we can get a little bit more.
You should do better than that for sure.
Yeah, but that's kind of the goal in the back of my head.
That's a
But
great
yeah, just a lot of kind of fun things going to help us get to the goal, hopefully, of $100,000 by Wednesday night,
Okay.
Wednesday morning, April 16th.
Now we are less than a month, I guess, 28 days away. So and you sent out the mailers, like I was saying, we still got this. So there's still plenty of time to send that in.
Yeah.
For everybody who got it. And I will say this, and you don't have to tell me exactly, how much time did you take to handwrite the letters? Did everybody get handwritten letters? Dude, that was awesome. As soon as I saw that, I told my wife, I was like, we've got to do something for Justin just doing this.
When you work in banking, you know what a handwritten note, what it means. And so actually that was kind of the craziest thing that, so there were some dancers at my Thursday night club at Top Spinners that got together. There was probably a bottle of wine or two, but we stuffed like 800 envelopes in like an hour and a half that like they had a system going. But yeah, like it should be something personal. And I think everybody kind of knows. So like the funds that we raise, it's for the promotion and preservation of square dancing. But a big piece of that is the caller scholarships, right? And so you've been a recipient of it. I was a recipient. Yep. And so, I mean, it really does have an impact on your area when you go to a caller school, you learn those skills, you come back and you teach a class for the first time, or you teach a workshop for the first time. And so, it it makes a big splash in your area when you receive that caller training, and then you turn around and you help the next caller. So it's 2003 is when I went to my first caller school. And so I have no idea how many classes I've taught since then. But, that was a spark back in 2003 when the club said, hey, you should go to a caller school so you don't, continue to do the same 5 singing calls. And, I learned enough to then be able to start calling patter for the first time. And then, here we are 20 years later.
Yeah, and I wish more people, and they may, because I don't know how it goes on the business side of it, but those the school grants, I forget what you call them, but that's huge, man, and hopefully more people take advantage of those, the scholarships to go to the schools. Anybody who follows me on Facebook or anything knows I'm a big proponent. I try and do 1 or 2 schools a year. Even if it's one I've been to before, but it's as much the learning as it is the socializing part of it. Whoever the Caller Lab coaches are, the teachers, whoever it may be, who's in the class, where it is. And that right there, that was huge. I've had a couple times that it really helped out. I think I had 2 scholarships over the years of all the schools that I've gone to. And so that's really big. And I knew Ways and Means was a part of that.
And I think like everybody thinks like, oh, you have to be a new caller in order to get the scholarship or in order to go. But if you've been doing it 10 years, if you're in a rut, if the spark or the magic is gone, go to a caller school and kind of be challenged and kind of think outside the box, get out of your normal routine. And, there's funds that are there to help.
So now you personally, I mean, I know you've got a lot going on between now and this convention. Do you know of any others that are going on, dances or anything that just stand out to you?
No, I'll tell you that what Mike Hogan and I were first talking about when we were kind of envisioning what this would look like, we wanted kind of cities across the U.S. to do some type of dance, whether it was even like a split the pot, to do something, right? Well, kind of the pushback that pushback's not the right word. The feedback that we got is that, man, we're doing Toys for Tots, and we're doing a fundraiser for the church that we dance at, and we're doing a benefit dance for victims of something, right? And so where we've really kind of seen it is just in small donations as callers are renewing their annual dues for CALLERLAB.
Yep.
And so, $25, $50 is kind of, where we've really been able to get closer to the goal. Okay. We did one in Memphis, and I was really kind of blown away by the response. They did one in Texas. Charlie Robertson put that on with some of the dancers from Fort Worth.
Nice. Okay.
And so there hadn't been as many of those kind of big dances that I thought would happen. But it's just kind of been, folks just giving a little bit of what they can, and, kind of giving in honor of somebody else. So if there was a caller that kind of helped you out when you were first starting, you can always put, in memory or in honor of somebody else that kind of helped you along the way.
That's outstanding. Well, anything else you want to say about that, Justin? Man, I appreciate you doing this. Because like I said, we've been friends for a while now, a couple of years, well, several years at this point. Oh, I wanted to bring it up earlier. So there's no chance that part of that auction is going to be the duct tape that held you to the bed. Most people know what that is now, that if you're part of CALLERLAB. So
yeah, man, I think that was a one and done. I don't know if I will ever be duct taped to a bed again. Bear Miller, he couldn't duct tape me to a bed if he wanted to. Vernon Jones, they've learned their lesson that now as the vice chair of CALLERLAB, they wouldn't think of doing that. We'll see what happens.
Careful, Justin. We're a few weeks away from all being together.
They wouldn't even dare think about it.
Okay. All right. Well, brother, I appreciate you doing this. I'm going to get this out this week. Everybody, if I can tell you now, whoever the people who watch these podcasts that I put out, bring cash. Come to that dance, Caller Lab. Let's try and raise the money. We definitely want to get it up because it's huge for just Caller Lab in general and for the scholarships and everything else. Justin, I appreciate it, buddy, and I'm looking forward to it. I will see you in a few weeks at South Carolina.
Thanks for letting me circle back. I was one of the first ones. Man, now you've become famous.
No.
Everybody knows Charlie.
No, I'm just having fun. I'm having fun, and I get to talk to all my friends that I don't get to normally talk to. So
Actually, that is kind of a cool little. So, I've been calling some folks like, hey, would you be able to do a donation? Some of the items that we have for the silent auction, for the live auction, our caller schools, our music packages. One that we did, her name is Leah Veronica, and she's out of California. She makes quilts. And so she donated in 2023 when we did this auction in Reno. But so I called her back and I was asking her if she would be able to donate a quilt. And like the conversations that we've had and learning about her and her history of making quilts, her history in square dancing, like, it's really the people that make this activity.
Sure.
But that's kind of been the fun part of just calling and hearing other people kind of share their stories. Like, we were talking before we started recording about the history of coming up and the callers that kind of helped you along the way. It's been kind of fun to hear other stories.
Awesome. All right, brother. I will see you in a few weeks.
What you're doing? Yeah.
Also, like I say, the come to the dances, bring some money to donate to the Ways and Means.
And even if you won't be there, CALLERLABFoundation.com. You can make a donation.
You can do it online. Anybody who hasn't, which you should have, renewed your dues for Caller Lab, you can throw that on there too. Because I just did mine. I talk like I'm better than other people. I just did it 3 days ago, so I couldn't remember, and my wife had said, "I think you already did that." And so I texted Teresa, and she's like, "No, you haven't."
Yeah, no, you haven't. She keeps everybody honest.
I guess I just paid for the convention, so okay.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and took care of both of those. Justin, awesome talking to you, buddy. I'll see you in a few weeks.
Sounds like a plan. We'll see you soon.
Man. Bye.